Hey, we got the Sega Genesis, or shall I say the Megadrive 6-button controller and the Sega Genesis 3-button controller Nintendo Switch online version. This is something serious. Back in the days, Biggie Small said, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this. Well, I can buy them all now because I'm an adult with money. But here's the crazy part. Sega Genesis is with Nintendo on this one. So let's get into the video. Full review coming up right now.
My boy
Whoever
T-Belly.
disliked is a hashtag filthy animal.
What's up, YouTube?
It's me.
Alright.
Good job.
Here's your world.
It's me, T-Belly here.
Beautiful.
What's up, YouTube? It's me, your guy, T-Belly here, King of Retro. We're going to talk about something really fire today, something really cool. Part of being the King of Retro, you gotta get some retro things up in here, right? I mean, today we're rocking a vintage Air Jordan 7 Collector's Edition jacket. You're not going to find this at Modell's. You're not going to find this at Foot Locker. This is vintage shit, you know, representing Hyrule. So let me show you guys what I got here today. We have the Nintendo Switch Online Sega Genesis controller, as well as the Megadrive controller. This is the Japanese 6-button. This is the American 3-button. I'm going to unbox these today. I'm going to compare them to original controllers. Yeah, I got originals. I have an original one of these. I might not have one of these original anymore. I might have traded them in. I gotta check my bins to see. And the reason I say bins is because obviously Nintendo Switch has Sega Genesis on it as an application as part of their Switch Online program. So we're going to do everything today. Unbox these bad boys, compare them. We're gonna play some games. We are gonna play some games with these controllers. That's my favorite part about this video. I get to play some games because Elohim knows I've barely had time to play games lately. So let's go. Let's get this party started. Let's get out of here. Alright guys, so right here we have both controllers ready to unbox. This is something different for the channel. So these are available through Nintendo Switch online service. All you need to do is scan a QR code and you'll be able to purchase the model depending on your region. So right here, on the right side, we have the Megadrive version, which is Japanese. It's a 6-button controller. America did get a 6-button Genesis controller, but for this Nintendo Switch Online, we did not. We got a classic 3-button Genesis controller. I showed you all parts of the box, and boom, there goes the American 3-button controller. It looks and feels as normal as a regular 3-button controller. Now on the right side with the Megadrive and the 6-button controller, you're going to see a slight difference real soon. I'm going to compare that one to an original Sega Genesis 6-button controller. Upon further research, I did the best I can do, and I'm not 100% accurate with what I'm about to say with the 6-button, but we'll get to that in a minute. But the 3-button feels really good. It feels as authentic as can be. The buttons feel comfortable. Now we're going to compare the 6-button Switch version to a Nintendo, well, not Nintendo, but a Sega of America Genesis 6-button controller. So right there you can see the difference in size. It's a little bit smaller. Upon research, I was not able to tell and find out 100% accurately. So this is a 50% statement that I'm about to say right now. Japan had smaller 6-button controllers. I read that online, but I also read that that's not true. So because of that, I do not know 100% if Japan's Megadrive 6-button controller is smaller than the American one. But as far as the Nintendo Switch version, you can see that it's a little bit smaller than the American 6-button controller. They do both feel very comfortable. The D-pad is excellent, and you can see the size difference here. It's not a huge difference. It's just a little bit smaller, but it's still comfortable in the hands. You're going to see when I do some gameplay, but it is smaller. But I do think it's something worth buying. In my opinion, I think it's definitely worth buying. Well, a little whoopsie there, just a little bit. But I definitely suggest picking it up for your 6-button games, as well as playing other Nintendo games and any games on your Switch console, especially like the Genesis collection or a Street Fighter game. So right now we're going to dip into the Nintendo Switch Online Sega Genesis application. I'm assuming right here I'm setting up the settings to see if everything is correct. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a controller update. Yes, I am. You're going to see how these controllers are recognized. I'm not a big fan of how they're recognized. I don't know why, but as you see, it comes in as a USB controller. I had it plugged in charging at the time. This is the 3-button controller we're using right now. So let's rock and roll. Come on, let's go, T-Belly. Get this bad boy started. Okay, I was just checking for the latest version. Let the sound play right about now. Had to let that rock. So I'm sitting here at the menu and I know what I was thinking. How can I not let T Belmont off the hat? But there's a twist here. There is a twist. And right here you also see on the menu, it gives you instructions on how to use this controller, because it doesn't have the same buttons as a Switch controller, but it does have the home button on the top, the capture button on the top. But I have a little twist here. You guys know T Belmont, the famous Castlevania Belmont, the coolest, most entertaining Belmont on YouTube, one of the most popular. But we're going to switch it up and go with Eric LeGrand. Excuse me, I never use Eric, but he's pretty much like easier mode for Castlevania Bloodlines. So I'm going to test him out and mess around a little bit. We're not going to talk too much about Castlevania Bloodlines. We're just going to focus on the controller. And as you see, I took off right out the gate. I'm swinging up and down, swinging, jumping, making sure everything's accurate. And while I was testing this controller, I can say, hey, we're playing wirelessly. Oh, actually, no, we were wired. We were wired, so I don't know if that's a difference. But I did play wirelessly a little bit later, and it was the same experience. So, to be fair, you're playing wirelessly. This is a product that was made with Nintendo and Sega together. It was awesome that they did this kind of collab, my guys and my girls. I still can't get over the fact that we have Nintendo and Sega together on hardware, and this performed really well. One thing I can always say about the Sega Genesis Mini compared to the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, the Sega Genesis Mini barely had any input lag. It was almost like not there. And I feel the same way with this. So now we're going to switch over to Golden Axe, another Sega Genesis classic, Sega Genesis exclusive, Sega exclusive. And this is another classic beat 'em up. Early title from the Genesis library, damn near arcade perfect. And as you see, I'm playing correctly. I'm able to swing my axe, hit the enemies. I'm not missing attacks. I'm just going. I'm just literally going, man. As you see, boom. I'm going and I got knocked down on my feet. There you go, Thunderhead or whatever his name is. Hit the dirt, woman. That was fun. But yeah, this is just a magnificent time right now. I mean, what I was feeling when recording this, I'm like, we really have Genesis controllers on the Nintendo Switch. And they're like Nintendo Switch exclusive. It's not like Retrobit, which, shout out to Retrobit. They make phenomenal Genesis controllers. Phenomenal. And I mean that by a landslide. Phenomenal. But Nintendo knocked this out the park. They really did. 6-button layout, mode button, home button, capture button, comfortability, durability, perfect mode. Again, the Megadrive controller, I can't be 100% accurate on that one because upon research, it gave me both answers. This is an original Japanese style model. And I also received the answer that this is smaller than a Megadrive 6-button controller. So I don't have that info, unfortunately, 100% accurate. Maybe I could go on eBay and buy a 6-button Megadrive controller. But right here, we're going to go switch games. And what am I going to pick? We're going to pick Echo the Dolphin? No, because that game sucks. But are we going to pick Toe Jam and Earl? What are we going to do? What are we going to pick? You got to pick Alter Beast T. I don't even remember what I picked. I know what I picked last. Okay, we're going with Strider, and I just dropped something. Okay, so right now we're going with Strider. And the reason why I tested different games from different eras of the Genesis, different styles of gameplay, is to make sure I'm giving you guys the 100% accurate, real truth about this. And before I get to the conclusion part of this video, I'm going to give you guys a spoiler and tell you these controllers are phenomenal. I'm on the 3 button still. We did 3 games with the 3 button, 3 games with the 6 button. The Sega Genesis on Switch is already a phenomenal thing to begin with. That family plan is something that me and my family are enjoying. You know, there's no better feeling than going to your kids and saying, hey, you got Nintendo Switch Online because of me. You got it. You can use it all you want. You know, and it's just a great deal, man. It's such a great deal. So let's talk for the person that doesn't have the family plan. You know, people that don't have kids, or people that just, you know, don't care to share. You know, you have, well, before I say what you have, right now we just switched over to the 6-button controller, and it's also showing it as a USB controller, which not a big fan of that. I would have liked to see the actual logo, but I get it. So you can't have a review without Streets of Rage 2, right? There's no way you can do that. Well, Streets of Rage 1 is my preferred Streets of Rage game, but it's not on the Genesis Online yet. So back to the controller conversation I was just having. That 6-button controller, that 3-button controller. The feel of the... Oh, actually, I was talking about the Nintendo Switch Online, guys. $50 gets you the Nintendo Switch Online Plus. With that, there's a lot of perks you get. You know, not only do you get online play with NES and SNES Online, you get N64 and Sega Genesis Online. Not to mention DLC for Animal Crossing, as well as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but we're not talking about that. But I'm telling you, it is worth every penny. Go find yourself a copy of Streets of Rage 2. Go do it, guys. Go buy a Sega Genesis, buy H3 Retrovision cables, buy a Retro Tank, buy Genesis controllers, and let's see how much that comes out to. But for $49.99 you get this controller, $49.99 you get a year of NES Online Plus, and you're good to go. And right here we on Altered Beast. This is a launch title for the Sega Genesis. This is a title that was a packing if you wanted that deluxe set. They did sell a core Sega Genesis back in 1989, but this was the one most people had for the first 2 years of the life on the Sega Genesis. Back in 1991, they switched over to Sonic the Hedgehog, and a little bit later, when they switched to the Model 2 Genesis, they packed in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And we're going to run through that right now. We're going to play that first level. So, enough about talking about the Genesis and the NES Online. These controllers, beautiful. Worth every penny. $49.99 ESRB. You can't beat that, man. It is a sweet deal. They're wireless. They're Bluetooth. They're just cool looking. And I mean, how awesome is that? You know, you have some friends over and they start talking about Sega Genesis, and instead of pulling out the CRT and pulling out the crates or the bins, the locker, going to storage, you can just whip out one of these controllers, get around your Nintendo Switch, and play these games right there, the palm of your hands. Not to mention things like the Sega Genesis collection, where you can pull out that collection and play those games with the original controllers. So hopefully you guys like this stuff, but I do have a little bit of a bonus. Let's do it. Okay, so right here, I'm going to play Ultra Street Fighter 2, Nintendo Switch exclusive. This is just bonus content right now. I'm going to get my ass handed to me. Yeah. But Sega Genesis always had something special about that D-pad. It was a circular, full motion D-pad. It was used on the Sega Saturn, one of the most greatest controls I've ever used in my life. Possibly the greatest. And even Mad Catz, with the release of Street Fighter 4, used a very similar D-pad. And let me tell you, all you have to do is fix your controller settings and you can use the 6-button controller on your Street Fighter game. This game or the Street Fighter collection. And that right there is a huge, huge plus for Street Fighter fans and other arcade game fans. These controllers are not only for Genesis, you can use them on other games. As you see right now, I'm using it on Street Fighter 2, and you can get the Street Fighter collection and play those games with this. So I think this is phenomenal. I'm really excited about these controllers, and I really hope after watching this video, somebody out there goes and buys these controllers. Somebody says, I want these controllers, and somebody just goes out and have a good time and have fun and create new memories with the invention of old memories being brought back to life. So let's get to the video. Let's get back to the video, and let's do this T-Belly style and wrap this up the right way, baby. Sega style. Well, there you go, guys. I have to say, Nintendo did a phenomenal job with these controllers. I possibly can say that I do have one complaint, and that complaint is that some people are here crying about the price. The retail price of $49.99. Ooh, they're very expensive. You have to consider the fact that these are very old moldings, old controllers. They also belong to Sega. So you have to look at that when you're buying these products. Also, it's real easy to complain about a price, but it's a lot harder to get out there and go make a little bit more money so you can afford a $50 controller. Stop being babies. Get out there, make your money, buy the controller. It's worth every penny. Excellent, excellent controllers. Had a great time using these bad boys. And again, if you have any questions that I did not cover, go down below in the comment section. Let me know what you feel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely subscribe and share this video if you thought it was informative, if you thought it was good. Definitely share this video to other people you think this might help. But I have to say, this is a must buy. This is a must buy. This is history. 20 years from now, we might not have a Sega. We just might not. You never know. And it's just phenomenal, this breakthrough where we had Sega collab with Nintendo and make hardware. That was just insane. This whole idea is just insane. And younger T-Belly would think this is BS. This is DuckTales. But that's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And check me out on the next one. But that's it for today. It's me, your guy, T-Belly. And I'm signing off, guys. Cheers.